rage like real. I ain't taking L's in Madden all year.
Yo. What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Rail. So today's video I want to show you guys this pistol doubles Y off mini scheme in Madden 23. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So this is in the Browns offensive playbook. Again, I'm in the Browns offensive playbook. Now, a couple of these plays can be found in other playbooks. So if you're curious about if it's in your playbook or not, make sure you check out the description of the video. I should remember to put all of them, but if I don't, I really love this out of the Browns playbook. It's also in the Texans playbook, and I believe the Steelers have this formation as well, and it's also in the pistol playbook. So make sure you check it out. And also, while I got you guys' attention, eBooks. So if you're curious about any eBooks, if you like an ebook on this particular formation, then you just need to head over to my website, allthingsmadden.com. The link is in the description, and you want to go to the ebook section. I have about 15 different formations that you can get for an ebook. Or if you'd like me to make you a special formation, like for example, if you wanted this pistol doubles Y off, you can go to my personal ebook section and request me to do this formation for you, and I'll make it and drop it into your account within 24 to 48 hours. So if you're interested about that, all that's on the website. And also my free PS4 CFL is on there as well. The free one, okay? Not the money, the free one. That's in the All Things Madden tab. So without further ado, man, let's go on and dive into this video. So as far as personnel goes, it really just depends. So right now, all I did was I took my fastest receiver and I put him here. But it's gonna vary depending on who you actually want and who your matchups are. So you're gonna hear me say, like, I will put my fastest player here, I will put my best route runner here, I will put my third string here. You're gonna hear that, okay? So don't get hung up in personnel right now. So looking at this pistol doubles Y off formation in the Browns playbook, the first play, of course, I'm gonna go over is the RPO flat wheel, and then I'm gonna go over PA cross as a complement to it. But you could really win a lot of games between RPO read flat and PA cross, and then mixing in the run plays. You can have a solid scheme, okay? But there's other great plays in here. There's a lot of great, you could use fade smash for a good setup, and there's other PA cross setups that are fire. And of course, there's different ways you can set up RPO read flat to maximize everything. So really love this offensive formation, man. So what I want to do here is come out and RPO read flat. Now for defense, realistically, what you're going to see is you're going to see nickel over style. You're going to see 3-3 normal, which is 3-3-5, or you're going to see 3-3-5 wide, or 3-3 cub. They're the same exact thing. So what I want to do is I actually want to go in 3-3 cub, because realistically, this is what you're going to see. Now, all I did was I put safety at the linebacker spot to simulate a user. And we got speed all the way around, which is why I like to demonstrate things with the Packers, because they have one of the fastest secondaries with good overall. So, you know, it's a good example. Now, as far as coverages goes, you're normally going to get man coverage. You're going to get cover 3. You're going to get a cover 2 style defense, and you're going to get match coverage. Now, most of the time when people run cover 3, they're going to run the the Sam Will Blitz 3 most of the time, but I have to account for people who don't do that, so we're gonna come out and cover 3. All right, so with this RPO read play, now I only love this setup versus man coverage or match, okay? But we can use this versus other things. So if they play anything other than man or match, like cover 3 or something, I like to actually take my tight end and motion him across. Now, what this is going to do is if your opponent does not pass commit, this is what it'll look like. And also, we are in cover 3. If your opponent does not pass commit, you're going to see that guy fly out there, and I make a terrible read right off the bat. But essentially, that's why I don't like it against zone coverage. It's not the best. Now, this is good if they're zone dropping, then you can actually sneak this guy out here. But what I probably should have did was hit this read right here. But it's too close to call, you know, so that's why I'm not a huge fan. Now, also, some things you can do, you can throw this quick. So you just really want to read it, and it's all based on what defense they're in, because they don't really play the same way every single time. So again, I'll show you right here. So what you can do is actually hit this guy right here, and you can actually get a lot of sneaky yards off of that, because they have to pass commit to correct that. So that's one of my favorite things to do, and you don't have to motion that guy either. You can just do it right here, but just notice what happens. Actually, you do need to motion him, okay? So when you motion that guy, the tight end, it's actually going to make the cornerback and the receiver back off some. So notice how he moves outside some. So that's going to create that angle for us to actually hit that window, and you get a nice little pass inside. So you can keep abusing that just based on defensive alignment. So long story short, because I know I did a lot of talking, I only like this play versus man coverage and match. And let me just kind of show you why. So first, let's go to man coverage. Now, with man coverage, if they do not pass commit, you're going to have triangle for a one-play touchdown almost every single time. So you're going to notice how we're going to be able to get out there. Now, this is nothing new. This has been in Madden for a really long time, okay? I'm just showing you that this same principle applies. But what I want to mix it up and show you is if they're going to play man coverage, then I actually like to take square and motion them across. Now, there's another setup I'm about to give you where we're going to have a pass play based off this. But if they don't pass commit, you can just tell right there. You're literally going to have a one-play touchdown as long as you don't get some crazy animation. But they have to pass commit to stop that. And also, this works versus any match coverage as well. So if they're playing any style of match and they don't pass commit. Now, sometimes people will base a line to get their players back. So be wary of that. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like here. So notice how with here, if they base a line, then they'll actually play correctly. Okay, so that's something that you have to be aware of. And don't worry, I'm telling you all this for a reason. This whole video is not dedicated to this play at all. This is just a nice play to sprinkle in. Now, what you want to do here is just take a motion across, and I want to show you what happens if they don't base align that player, because not a lot of people do. But if they don't, you can tell right here we'll have another, one-play touchdown if they don't read base align. Okay, so you might be saying, real, obviously people are going to do it, but you'll be surprised. Honestly, you'll be surprised, especially when I show you this passing concept that we're going to sprinkle in. They're not really going to expect you to run this play. And also, the other thing I like about this play, it's actually a read option. So last thing I want to show you, of course, is it's a read option style. So why is he still up? Okay, he's down. But it's literally read option, so it's good because you can, you'll be able to, possibly get something good, or you could turn it up, or I probably should have handed the ball off, but you have the option. It's a true, RPO style. And I'm only showing you this for the people who wasn't, not too familiar, but you can tell you just literally hand the ball off. But I spent 7 minutes talking about that, so I kind of want to move on. So moving forward to what you probably care about is the passing concept, okay? And also, last thing, read option. You can run a read option, so you can run it to the opposite side, so it's cool because you can alternate between, this read option this way, and you can alternate between this read option. So, that's why I like it, because, you have options, long story short. But I said all that to show you with the RPO play, why it's good, because you want to complement that with this PA cross play. So with PA cross, there's actually two setups I want to give you. So the first one is actually versus any single coverage. So what you want to do is you want to take square, put them on a comeback, and I like to actually take R1 and put them on a curl. So what this is going to do, this is going to beat every single coverage in the game, literally every single one. And you want to read between R1 and triangle, and lastly you want to hit X as like a late read. So cover three, there's a lot of better setups if you'd like them. But the reason why I chose this one, because this particular setup will beat every single coverage in the game. Literally every single coverage this particular setup will, okay? So really what you want to do is you want to make a read between this curl route by the running back, and you want to read this crosser route. Now, in special circumstances, this post can clear cover three. You can tell you're starting to run past them now. But in special circumstances, you can have that one-play touchdown. It all depends on who you have there. And it's a slightly different setup for that one. But in essence, I love this because we're going to have a high-low right here. So they have to zone drop. And if the user has to pick and choose, and we're going to put this curl route here in case the user is getting too aggressive, or maybe he's usering on this right here. So you can tell why I like it. Now, the reason why I like this setup again is because it beats every coverage. And also you can split cover two for a one-play touchdown as long as I have time. So again, the PA plays PA cross, square on a comeback, R1 on a curl, and you just need time in the pocket. You don't need a ton, but you need a little bit. So if you notice, circle is actually going to climb and actually get open. But to show you a better example, this is why I spy my players, in case you guys were curious, because in all Madden practice mode, these sheds are just ridiculous. So again, square on the comeback, R1 on a curl, and on this one you're going to need a little bit of time, but I want you to watch what happens. Notice how circle is going to kind of get glitched out, and we're going to be able to throw that ball right over the head for a one-play touchdown. So you might have missed it, so I'm running one more time for you. But if you hold the ball and wait a little longer, you will be able to have that nice dot for a one-play touchdown. So PA crosser, square on a comeback, R1 on a curl, and that's all we need to do. So I'm only going to show you one. So notice how that's what you're going to see in the game. So I think he got beat up at the line last play. So what you're going to see online, because most of the time when you play online, your guy is going to get a clean release or somewhat of a clean release. So if you kind of watch right here, notice how, this doesn't happen. This is only practice mode where they kind of like swim and get beat up. Normally, when they run their route correctly and not this that happens in practice mode, he's going to bite down and this safety is going to slide out for the comeback, and that's what allows this throw to be gaping wide open. In worst case scenario, you'll always have this curl route. So notice how if these spies wasn't here, we'll be able to throw this curl route, and if the user covers that, then we make this high-low if for some reason this is not open, if that makes sense. So really love that setup. Now it works the same way. I think match coverage, it works the same way. Let's go and see, because I did say every coverage, but I can't remember if it beats match or not. So let's go and test it out right here. So I believe if I remember right, it's going to be a one-on-one. It's going to be a 2-on-1 between your corner and that receiver, if I remember right. Let's see. No, it's a one-on-one. So the one-on-one is right there. So it all depends on who you have right there. So right there, you would need your fastest player, whoever that is. So I would probably put Schwartz right there if I was running this. So you can tell with match coverage, it's going to pretty much play the same way. This crosser route is ran deep enough to where the safety has to man match it, and this comeback is going to be occupied by that. So you can tell naturally there's going to be a 2-on-1 right here, and that's what we're banking on. And also you can tell we of course can throw that crosser, but the user will be there. So that's why I was reading this, because normally the user is going to cover that crosser route. Okay, so last thing I want to talk about is man coverage. So you can run this play versus man, but I want to give you a second setup because we want to make this look similar to the first play I gave you. So we're going to go to PA cross, and again, you can run the setup I just showed you, but versus man coverage, it's a simple setup, but it's good because we get to utilize the motion. So we're going to take square, we're going to put him on a slant, and I like to take my running back right here and block him most of the time. And then we're going to take X. I like to put him on a drag, or you can leave him on that route. I normally love to do a drag, and we're going to motion this slant across. Now, keep in mind, they're going to be thinking that RPO play, so they're probably pass committing or whatever, and then we're going to let him go out some. And now, look at the spacing. Look at square, look at X, and then look at triangle. So that's exactly how I love to do it right there. And one more thing I want to show you before I kind of cut this video out is sometimes I like to swing this running back. So if they're blitzing, obviously it doesn't matter. But look at the person that's responsible for the running back. This does happen in game also, by the way. So he was responsible for it, but what happens is he turns into like a mid-read style defender. That's why he kind of plays it this way. So he actually would have took off and chased this route. So just be very careful when you block your running back. But regardless, what I want you to see is that if you have a good tight end, you could throw this drag route down. And if you space it out correctly, you'll have this space right here where the user can't cover both. And then they're going to run with the slant, and then we're going to throw the crosser. And if you have a good matchup, you could wait on the post, okay? So, again, really love that setup. Now, for those of you guys that are still here, I want to give you a bonus setup for me appreciating you staying here, okay? I appreciate you guys. So, for those of y'all that are here, here's another setup for you that I like. So, what we're going to do is we're going to press. And I love this setup versus, this will work versus every single coverage in the game. So you want to take X, put him on the in route. You want to smart route his in route. You want to take your running back and swing them to the right. Or if they're blitzing, you can block them. But if they're not, you can swing them to the right. Now, this setup right here will beat every single coverage in the game as well. So you want to read between X, triangle, and then square late, if that makes sense. I'll try to throw square, but that's normally how your read progression is going to go no matter what the coverage is. And I'll quickly show you versus like cover 3, and then that'll be the video. But anyways, your read progression no matter what is going to be this in route. Then you want to look at this crosser, and then lastly you want to peep this in route. And depending on your matchup, you can have this over the top. So again, it all depends on who you have out there, if he's a good route runner or not. So last thing, like I said, I'll show you versus cover 3, the same setup I just gave you. So we're going to take X, put him on the in route, smart route at the 10 yards. We're going to swing our running back. So again, you can kind of tell it's going to be the same thing. Look at X, look at triangle, and then of course we could have square depending on who they have right there, where their user is. But you see the read progress, you see the read pattern. So finally, I'm going to go and replay to show you this real quick, and then that's going to be the video. So again, it's the same read progression. So we're going to have this in route open if we want it. We're going to have this crosser route right here because the defender can't go all the way out there, and if he does, that means there's zone dropping, and we can actually just chunk this ball down low right here. And lastly, we can have this in route open late if we want it. Now, if you want this in route open earlier, all you need to do is put a route that's going to occupy this guy. So if you wanted to take your tight end and put him on a drag instead, it would actually occupy this purple, so he wouldn't be right here in this window. He would actually be down here if you put your tight end on drag, if that makes sense. So again, wanted to give you guys a bonus setup. And again, if you like this formation and you want to see how I would scheme it all together, then you just consider getting an ebook, and I promise you wouldn't regret it. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.